Hello everyone, it's Nancy Amato, the Be More Stamper. Welcome, welcome, happy Saturday. It is August the 19th already. Where has August gone? I cannot believe it. Anyway, I'm coming to you a little bit earlier today than I normally do because my goodness, my social calendar has just been chock full the past 3 weeks, hasn't it? So I have another thing that another invitation I need to attend something at 3 o'clock today, but I didn't want to miss us again this weekend or move us to Sunday. So I'm coming just a little bit early today. So what I want to do, first of all, I'm almost ready to put these catalogs in the mail. So if you have ordered from me within the last year, you will be getting one of these catalogs either in the mail, or if you live close by, I might just do a little porch drop off. Either way, but you will get them next week. So this is the September to December mini catalog that will go live for customers on September the 6th and run through just the beginning of January, really the end of December. But the official catalog cutoff date is January 3rd of next year. So I cannot open this catalog yet and show you the inside images, but I can play with some new stuff that I got in my pre-order. So that's what we're going to do today. Alrighty, let me slide this over here out of the way. And I have a whole stack of stuff here. Let me show you what we are going to make today. So we are going to make this beautiful fall themed card. And look at this background. This is not an embossing folder. This is actually a mask or a stencil. Back in my days we called it stencils, but now they're called masks. Same tool, but anyway. So I'm going to show you how easy it is to make that beautiful background. And I'm challenging myself to use Moody Mauve. So I have to be honest with you, this is not one of my favorite new colors, probably because, you know, I've lived through mauve already and it's back around again. But I really, really love the way this designer series paper pairs with this color. So let's get started. Alrighty, I'm gonna put that sample down right there. Let me show you what we're going to need to recreate this card. So we will need a card base in Moody Mauve, and this again is 8.5 by 5.5, and it's scored right down the middle at 4 1/4. Alrighty, so that's our card base. Our inside panel here is very vanilla. This is 4 by 5 1/4. So that's going to layer right inside like that. And then the panel that we are going to use the mask on is also 4 by 5 1/4. So that is going to be on the front of the card. And I've cut a few pieces ahead of time and actually stamped our greeting. So this is the circle, stitched circle from, hang on, have everything lined up here, I think, from Stylish Shapes. Yep, there we go, underneath here, from the Stylish Shapes dies. So let me pull these out. So this particular circle is cut from very vanilla cardstock. Okay, so that is that one. And then the next circle up in size, the one slightly larger, is the die that I used to cut this piece of designer series paper. Okay, so I just did those two things ahead of time just to save us a little bit of time. So again, this is the Stylish Shapes Dies, and this is in our annual catalog right now. Alrighty, I can put this over here in my bin. And I'm going to put this in my bin. But let's get to the star of this card, in my opinion. The Abundant Beauty Decorative Masks. Okay, this is the packaging that they come in. And they are $10.50. They will be available starting September the 6th. But let me show you these beautiful masks, okay? So this is the one that we're going to use today. Has all types of leaves and foliage on it. So this is perfect for fall, but honestly, I think you could do this with really any color. You could do this with a bunch of greens and yellows as well, and it would look stunning. Alrighty, so that's the one we're going to use. Here is another one. I've only played with the leaves. I'm going to be honest with you. I haven't played with the rest of them yet. But here is the snowflake mask. So this is going to be beautiful as well. And then here is another one. This is a houndstooth pattern. Isn't that cute? Now this coordinates with the Them Bones products in the mini catalog as well for Halloween. But it doesn't have to specifically be for Halloween because it's just a general houndstooth pattern, okay? Again, too, the snowflakes you can use for any kind of card, but there is a snowflake punch bundle in the mini catalog as well. And then the one I'm kind of really excited about too, and I can't believe I haven't played with it yet, is the sunflower. So you have mask number 1 is the flower itself, okay? Once you have that done, then you layer mask number 2 over top of what you have already used your blending brush to apply the ink. And I'm sorry for all these crazy shadow or lights reflecting here. And then after you have those two, then you're going to add a mask number 3. It's getting a little harder and harder to see through the masks, but anyway. So that's for the center of the sunflower. And then mask number 4 is the detail of the center of the sunflower. So let me just pull out, there we go. So you can see how the detail will look with just the sunflowers as well. So I hope to have time this weekend to play with these because sunflowers are my absolute favorite. I love them, love them, love them, and I can't believe I haven't even put ink to that mask just yet. But it's been a little busy, so that's okay. I will get to it. Alrighty. The other thing we are going to use for this project is a new stamp set called So Sincere. This is also going to be in that September through December mini catalog. Okay, so you can look for that. It is a cling mount, so it is a red rubber stamp set. And the image we're using is the So Thankful for You. But again, I've just gone ahead and stamped that already on that circle die cut with some Moody Mauve ink just to save a little bit of time. And then the last product we're going to use for this card is the Season of Chic stamp set and the dies. Now this is in our annual catalog. Okay, I pulled out these 2 leaves, so we have those stamped right there. Those stamps ready to go right there. It's an outline leaf and a fill-in leaf. And for these leaf die cuts, we're going to use the Chic Dies. Okay, also in our annual catalog. Alrighty, so I know I'm going to need the dies again. So let's get started first. Let's use our mask first, and then I'm going to show you the designer series paper that we're going to use. So let's do our masking first. Alrighty, so we're going to need that piece of Moody Mauve that's cut at 4 by 5 1/4. I'm going to put the other card pieces just right over here out of my way. And I'm going to pull off a little piece of, this is the one I used before, but I wanted to show you what I'm using. I'm using some Post-it note tape. Actually, I have one on here already, but I'm going to show you. I'm using Post-it note tape. And you can find this on Amazon as well. But I like being able to attach the mask to my little scrap piece of paper at the top, just so I can have like a little hinge. So I can lift this up and see how I'm doing. And if I want to add more, I can put it right back down and it's going to stay right in its spot. Is that making any sense at all? So let me just kind of put that right where I want it. Now I'm going to put the mask right over top, and I can see this cardstock right through here, which is great because I want to center the leaves in the middle of that piece of cardstock. Okay, now I'm just going to take a section of that Post-it note tape. You could use painter's tape as well if you prefer. But what this is going to do is this is going to let me, oh my, nope, that's right. I haven't done this in a couple of days. Can you tell? That's right. I want to put it on my mat here. There we go. So let's look this down again. Move that up. Okay. You know what I think it is? I think I pulled this too long. My goodness, I just did this Thursday. There we are. You would think I would remember, but it's been a busy kind of week. All right. Let's do it just like that. And I'm just going to pull it just up here at the tippy top, okay? And that will work for me. All right, so I'm going to open up the Moody Mauve ink, and this is the blending brush I have been using to work on these layers. So I am just going to add a little more ink here. This is pretty inky already. And what you want to do is kind of pounce off any ink on your scrap paper, and then you're going to come in from the side, okay, and just give it like a circular motion. So this time I'm going, what, counterclockwise? All right, I'm going to load up this again with some more ink, and then come in from the sides and do this middle section here. And then let's do the bottom section. Okay, and we will be able to see how dark it is. Now, the key with using the blending brushes with these masks is you can always add more ink, but you can't take it away. Alrighty, so now I'm just gonna lift this up. Let me grab a pair of scissors just to lift that up. And now I can fold that back. And that is nowhere near dark enough, okay? So without moving the cardstock, I can just lay the mask down again. I'm gonna get a bunch of ink on here now. Okay, and now I'm just holding the mask down with my finger at the bottom. And yeah, just going in a circular motion and switching directions. I think this is going to be dark enough now. Might have to add another little layer here. Okay, let's see. Let's see what this looks like. So much better. You know what? I moved the paper. We're gonna flip it over. We are just gonna flip that bad boy over. We're gonna start again because it looked like, and you know what I'm gonna do is just grab a glue dot. Sorry, I had to move 20 things to get to the glue dots. This always happens when you're live, correct? Alrighty. So I'm just putting a glue dot on the back of there. And this is going to help hold this in place. Let's put it under the mask. That would be helpful, wouldn't it? There we go. Oh my word. There we are. All right, let's start this over again. We're just gonna push this down. That little glue dot is just gonna help hold the cardstock in place. There we are. See, I do my own stunts, right? I make the mistakes so you can learn from them. Now, I have to be honest with you. If you still have one of our Stamparatus stamp positioning tools, that is a great way to do this as well, because you can put the mask right up in the corner. So even if you have another stamp positioning tool, that is a good tool to use to keep everything lined up as well. But for today, the glue dot is going to do the trick for me. Alrighty. Yep, you always get real crafting with me. I don't edit anything out. If I make a boo-boo, I'm going to call myself out on it, because that's the only way we all learn, right? Okay, so let's see how dark this is this time. Lift this up carefully. Oh, that's pretty. Can you guys see that? Okay, yeah, I just double checked with the camera feed. I like that. I'm probably just gonna add a little more ink right up in here. So let me put that mask back down. Let me just hit these leaves one more time here. And I have plenty of ink in this brush. All right, now let's put it up. All right, I think that is perfect. I don't want it too dark because I just want it to look like a background. All righty. Okay, so I can close up the Moody Mauve and move the brush over to the side. And now I'm just gonna spin this bad boy around just to remove that little glue dot there. And I can just pull that right off the back and toss it right in my trash can, okay? All right, so let's move this out of the way. I'm gonna put that right over there. Okay, let's do our die cutting for our leaves and this little strip. So I want to bring in the designer series paper I'm using for this. And it is called All About Autumn. It is a 6x6 pack, and I have pulled out one of each of the patterns here, so I can show these to you as we go along. Isn't this gorgeous? Oh my goodness, I love it. So one side of this designer series paper is like a photorealistic image. This reminds me of hiking on the carriage trails in Maine. Love it, love it. And then the opposite side, you can see, is a pretty much a subtle pattern, but it has foiling on the back. Oh my word, I love it. Okay, so here's one side. And then the foiling is on the back. Here is another one. This looks like a cozy, warm blanket, doesn't it? Snuggled up in your favorite chair with a book. And then here is the opposite side with the foiling. Here's a nice weathered wood pattern. I'm loving that. And then the opposite side. This is going to look familiar because this is the paper we're going to use to do our die cutting. And then that's the opposite side with the foiling. Here's a bird's eye view of the fall trees if we were a bird flying over top of them. And then that beautiful mossy meadow and the foiling on the back. This one is, I guess this is like a corduroy blanket? I'm not sure. It kind of looks like corduroy with the stripes to me. And then, oh my gosh, look at that. This is gorgeous. And then look at all these cutie patootie little pumpkins. Love that. And then on the back side, we have pretty peacock with some foiling. And then here are some gorgeous books. This is going to make a great background for some masculine cards, I think. And then the back side of that with the foiling. And then along with the books in the library, we have our tufted favorite leather chair. And then here is the back side of this one. And you can see the foiling. I'm trying to move it around so the light will catch it. And then, oh my gosh, look at this one. It's beautiful. And then again, some more, I think this is Mossy Meadow with the foiling on the back. Here are some more books on our bookshelf. And then this is Very Vanilla with some foiling. Oh my gosh, this is just absolutely gorgeous. This is so beautiful. And then Very Vanilla and foiling on the back of there. And then this is the pattern that we used for this card. You can see here's the fallen leaves right here. And on the back side is this foiling. Alrighty, so let me just tuck these back in this bag so that I have a little sample of each one of those so I don't use it all up. And then let me pull out the pattern that we are going to be using to die cut our leaves. Let's see, where was that? We're looking for, oops, there's all my little pieces. We're looking for a Moody Mauve background. This was it. Yes, this is the one. So this looks like the weathered wood on the front side. You can see I've been a little bit busy. A little busy with this paper. And actually, I don't know that a leaf is going to fit on there, but let's give it a try. We have some scrap papers there. Let's give it a try so that we're not wasting any of this gorgeous paper. Alrighty, I can just set this aside and let's bring in, just bringing in our mini Stampin' Cut and Emboss machine. Okay, and let's grab the leaf dies that I want to use from the Chic Dies. Let's find them. There are so many dies in this die set. I love it. So I want all 4 of these leaves. Okay. I'm going to be using all of those. This stamp set and die set is one of my go-tos. I really love it. So again, it is in the annual catalog. So it will be available to us all the way through next spring. Okay, so let's pull out those little pieces. Let's see what we can fit on here. So we're gonna need plate number 1, plate number 2. Okay, I just have it upside down. Okay, let's see. We can probably get a couple of leaves out of this paper here. We can definitely get our two little ones. Yeah, we just make it. We're just making it with those two, aren't we? I'm gonna grab another piece of Post-it note tape just to hold those bad boys down so they don't wiggle when I run them through the machine. Okay, and then for this one, we're going to do this die, and let's do him like that, and this die. Now, it is best to try to line up your dies vertically as they go through the machine versus horizontally, because it gives the machine more time to press on these dies to cut them from your paper. Okay, so that is why I didn't do those horizontally. I prefer to do them vertically. All right, so we're just gonna load it on in there and crank it on through. And this is the perfect little project for our mini Stampin' Cut and Emboss machine. I'm just gonna run them through a second time. I probably don't need to, but I just thought, well, why not? Let's make sure they cut all the way through. And now I can fold these up and just put that down next to me. Oh yeah, these went right on through there. No problem at all. There we go. There's one leaf. Okay, here's the next one. There we are. And then these two guys cut right through as well. Let me just remove their Post-it note tape. And a lot of times, if the image is stuck inside the die, I just throw it on my table, and more times than not, it will pop right on out. All right, so I'm gonna use this little piece of Post-it note tape just to pick up those little extra pieces, and then I can just put that right in my can right next to me. Alrighty, so we are finished with these. I'm just gonna put them right here in my metallic bowl that's just off camera. So later on when I say, where did I put them? You can say they are in your metallic bowl. My magnetic bowl, I should say. All right, and then we're going to need a piece of this paper as well. We're going to cut this 4, and then this is a half. So let me bring up my paper trimmer. So I'm just gonna do a 1/2 inch cut there. The first one is going to be 4. Okay, so this piece is going to go on the inside right here. And I believe this one with the ribbon, I think this was like 3 1/4. So let's move that over. So let's cut another 1/2 inch strip here. And let's do this. And of course, yeah, my ruler is not here on the table. There we go. Let's see if that was 3 1/4. It was probably 3. I probably wanted to get 2 of them out of a length since it's a 6x6 paper. Let's see. Yep, and that's 3. Alrighty, so we're finished with that. I can put these little extra papers away. Okay, so now we're ready to finish up this card. Actually, let's stamp. What I didn't do before was I didn't stamp anything on the inside, but I think I want to have a leaf on the inside this time. I did do a leaf on the envelope flap, but I want to do a leaf on the inside this time through. So here are our Chic Season of Chic stamps. Okay, let me grab one of my foam mats, which I know I just brought in. I had to pack things up because I wasn't home all day yesterday. Here it is, right in front of my face. My word. But let's just do a leaf down the bottom as well. I know we're going to cover this up, so we're going to put this leaf right about here. Okay, so here's how we're going to do this. We're going to open up the Moody Mauve again, and I am going to bring in this work paper one more time because we're going to need to stamp off once. So the outline is going to be straight down and straight up. So that's going to be 100% Moody Mauve ink. Okay, and that's the outline image. Alrighty. Now the fill-in image, we're inking up, but then we're going to stamp it off one time on our scrap paper to get rid of basically one layer of ink. And now, I love photopolymers because I can just look right through and line them up. And now we're going to stamp that, and that is just going to be a slightly lighter shade of the same ink pad, but look how gorgeous that is. All right, so we have those done. Let's put this paper right down at the bottom there. So let me get my my Tombow Multipurpose liquid glue. And I'm going to put that right there. Okay, so that is done. Now we can put this on the inside of our card. And I just like to run a real thin line around all four sides. Let's get our card base, open that up. This is our inside. Okay. Beautiful, beautiful. I love this paper. This paper is just gorgeous. Okie dokies. All righty. Now, before we do our layering on the outside, we're gonna do something fun. Let me move our card over here. And you're gonna just need a pair of our snips or another sharp-edged kind of scissors. Alrighty. And let me show you the sample. You can kind of see this textured edge along here. I like giving cards that little look, that little textured edge. And here's how you do it. You're gonna open up your scissors and you're just going to run the blade right along that edge. And you will see it's going to make a bunch of little pieces of fuzzy paper, but that's why you keep your little work sheet down here. Or if you're like me, you just blow it on the floor and then eventually you vacuum. But you just want to hold your cardstock near where you're doing this edging, okay? Because you want to give it some support with your fingers. All right, so that is one edge right there, okay? Now I'm going to just turn this a quarter turn, and now I'm going to do this side. And you just keep going back and forth until you have the look that you want. But again, I find it's very easy. If you're not holding the area where you're doing this roughing up of the edge, sometimes it will tend to tear. That's why I'm keeping the fingers of my left hand closer to the area that I'm working on, okay? So we don't want to tear the cardstock. We just want to rough up that edge. So it almost looks like I need to change my my cutting blade, but it's even worse than a normal old cutting blade look. But I just love the way, I don't know, it gives it a little bit of a distressed look. So there's that half. And it's a real easy thing to do. It isn't like it requires, you know, a lot of steps, but it just gives that little extra zhuzh to your card when you're finished. Okay, I'm gonna just do that part, and then we just have one more edge to rough up. Okay, here we go. So this is our last one. Okay, let me move my fingers over this side a little bit. There we go. And I am just going to give it another little extra because I started doing it a little more on the other four sides. Let me give it a little extra on this side again where I started, just to make it look uniform. Okay, there we go. I'm not sure if you can really see this on the screen, but it does just give it a little extra. Oh, hey, Rosemary. Nice to see you today. Thanks for watching. So, and then this is just the little, you know, the little pieces of paper that you have scraped off with the edge of your scissors. So you can just put that right in your trash can and you're good to go. Alrighty, let's put this, of course I have it all over my table now, but that's okay. Let's put this together. Let's pull out the ribbon that we're going to use. This is a new ribbon pack that's going to be in the September to December mini catalog. It's called the Copper and Natural Ribbon Combo Pack. So you get both of these spools in here. Look at this copper. Oh, it's so beautiful. Alrighty, we are not going to use the copper today, but we are going to use this wide ribbon here. I have to say, this is very soft. It will make a gorgeous bow. It isn't stiff like a jute ribbon. It is just absolutely beautiful. I love the way it drapes and everything. So I am just going to roughly measure a piece that is about as wide as our card front here. And then I'm going to notch the ends. So to do that, you fold your ribbon in half. Okay, just like that. And then you hold it in place with your opposite hand, and you're always going to cut in from the edges into the center. So you're just going to do a diagonal cut like that. And when you're finished, you have this beautiful notch. Okay, so we're going to do the same thing again. So I'm folding this in half with the edges closest to my scissors here. And again, I'm going to just do a little diagonal cut, and then I have that little notch right there. Okay, so let's pull in all of our pieces here. I like to start off just by laying things out before I attach them down so that I kind of know where I want to put things. So I sort of get an eyeball of where I want things to go. Okay, and I'm going to need a little bit of tear tape adhesive. And then our leaves and such are going to be tucked right in here. And I have a great idea from one of my teammates. She was like, I felt like saying, I'm doing it wrong. Her idea was so much better than mine. So, all right, first things first, we're going to just pull off a little piece of tear tape adhesive and put it right along the bottom here of this stamped circle. And you'll notice I have a little extra ink around the edges. And the way I did that was I took the blending brush we were using before and then just did that right around the edges just to give it a little shading as well. And then again, that greeting is from the new So Sincere stamp set, and I used the Moody Mauve ink. Alrighty, so we're just eyeballing this at this point. Okay, now let's pull off this wax paper from our tear and tape adhesive. And we are going to lay this ribbon right like that. When I made my first one, I wasn't quite centered. So this time I want to try to make sure I'm a little more centered there. Okay. All right, so this piece we can set aside for a hot minute. And then I'm just gonna flip this one over and put some of our multi-purpose liquid glue, flip it back over, and put that in place. Okay. Alrighty, let me get out some dimensionals. Let me move my cup again. All right, so at first, I have to tell you, at first, I was just putting 2 dimensionals here and then popping this piece up and then fitting in my leaves with wet glue. But my teammate Andy had an excellent idea. She's like, you know what? Turn this over, figure out where you want to put your leaves. So like I want one of them right here. So line up that leaf where you want it. Turn this over. I can't believe this. I can't believe I never thought of this. And then put the Stampin' Dimensional right on top. Oh my word. So that's going to hold that leaf in place. Plus it's going to pop this up off of the front of the card just like we want it to. All right, my second leaf, I want to have that right about here. So I have the placement. I'm going to just turn that over. There we go. Put another one right on top of it. The third one, I want this one kind of hanging out on the side. There we go. So right about there. Turn that over. I can't believe I never thought of this. But you know what? It's great to always have good ideas from everybody. Okay, so then this one I'm just going to put right here. Our last little one I'm going to tuck under. So now we can just pull the wax paper off of here. Okay. And lay that right on top. Oh my word, this paper is just gorgeous. All right, push that down. So our last little leaf, I will do just a little bit of our wet glue and just shove it right underneath that ribbon. So I'm just putting a little bit of glue just on the stem of that leaf. Lift this up. There we go. And just put that right there. And I'm just going to push it down. Hold it in place for a hot second. Okay. All right, grab your tear and tape adhesive one more time because we're going to add this little piece of designer series paper on top of this ribbon. So flip over this piece and add a piece of tear and tape along the back. And I'm doing this tear and tape adhesive because it's a bit stronger and it will adhere nicely to the weave, to the fabric of that ribbon. So let's pull off our wax paper again. Okay. And then just right there. All right. So that is our card front already. Of course, you know, I love dimensionals, so we're going to pop up this whole thing onto the back. And we're going to put one in the middle only because we have a lot of stuff going on the front and we don't want anything sagging in the middle. Okay, let's pull in our card front and layer this right on top here. Oh my goodness. I just love, love, love this paper. Love this paper. And I'm learning to love the Moody Mauve again. I know, it's kind of funny because, you know, if you were, you know, around in the 80s and perhaps in other people's weddings, what color did we all wear? Moody Mauve, Moody Mauve, Moody Mauve. Variations of Moody Mauve. So I guess us old people, it's going to take us a hot minute to really enjoy that Moody Mauve once again. And then here is a very vanilla envelope where I've stamped that coordinating leaf again. So that is our project for today. What do you guys think? I'm loving it. I love this tip about putting the leaves on right where I want them and not having to, you know, like put glue on all of them and tuck them under. My goodness, that just makes all the difference in the world. So that is what I have for you today. Quick reminder, the kit sale is still going on all throughout the month of August, up to 30% off on all of our kits, even the brand new one that just was released this month. Also, if you earned any of the bonus days coupons by purchasing in July, they must be redeemed in August. So don't miss out on your freebies because it's $5 per coupon. And what's the other thing I needed to remember? Oh, next week, I will not be live next week. I will try to pre-record a video, but I will be at the leadership event that is being held near Las Vegas. So I will not be live next week because I'll be learning all kinds of new things. I can't wait to share. So, but I should be back that following Saturday. Yes, the Saturday of Memorial Day weekend. I will be back. No, not Memorial Day weekend. Oh, Lordy. Labor Day weekend. Labor Day, Nancy. Not Memorial Day. Oh, my word. Well, have a great Saturday, everyone. Thank you for watching today. And I will talk to you not next week, but the week after on Labor Day weekend. Thanks so much, everybody. Have a great Saturday. Bye-bye.